Good. From a team standpoint, I thought that our team showed a lot of resiliency today. I mean, because it was a back and forth game, as we all well know, and they were in it all the way. And it was. I feel fortunate that we did win it. To be honest with you, we had some plays called back that would be nice to keep, but obviously penalties are going to do that to you. Thought the defense hung in there. We had a lot of guys banged up today. I guess I ought to back up on offense. The biggest one was probably Wes early. And I don't know the status for Wes, so I can't really give any update. We'll know tomorrow after they check it out, but probably not as good as I'd like it to be. That was a loss with Colburn going in there. Matt, he's been strong all year long, so we're lucky to have him, and he did a great job. I think he had 90-some yards today on 20-some carries. So he continues to play very well. We'll have to do something at the running back position. Naturally, I'm not sure what that'll be until we kind of look at our options tomorrow if Wes is out. So we got that. And getting back to the defensive side, we had a bunch of DBs get kind of banged up. Now, coming into the game, we were short a couple linebackers as it was. And so we had to have a lot of moving parts. So credit to Colin Bauer for the job he did in trying to, keep things. We kind of had a couple packages that we had planned for the game we weren't able to use because of the injuries. I also think Marcel did a great job on offense with the two quarterbacks back and forth. That's really tough duty, to be honest with you guys. It's hard on the players, too, when you have two quarterbacks because cadence and all those things are quite different. But credit both quarterbacks for, again, back-to-back weeks now doing a great job getting us a victory.
Hey, Coach. Mike Mueller, BCP Plus. Good to see you again. Being in the position that you're in, kind of locked more or less into that second place spot for the playoffs, how do you balance resting players and giving them time to prepare for the playoffs versus giving them max reps and exposure for NFL teams and keeping momentum?
Great question, because I've thought about it a lot. Couple things why you don't want to rest players is, number one, when you rest a player, he doesn't get paid. So you don't want to rest a player because obviously you don't want to take pay from him. It'd be a penalty. So that's number one. Now, we can play him less in the game and activate him, but we need numbers for the game as well to make it through the game. So it's kind of that's the issue with it. You don't want to sit somebody down completely for that exact reason, but you can monitor them. That's probably what I think most teams would do. That's what I believe, that's what we're trying to do kind of. But now throughout the year, we've played too deep in a lot of spots throughout the year, unlike last year. But this year is a whole different deal because there's a lot more talented players this year than there were last year, twice as many. So we're able to do that, but that's what will happen. That's what my intentions are, is to get guys to just, kind of play maybe a little less than they did, but have some other players play a little bit more. So maybe make it more of a 50-50 split rather than maybe a 2-to-1 split for guys. But no one will sit because of the fact that won't sit well. Yeah.
As the defensive coach, your defensive line just dominated out there today. I think I counted up, it was 6 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, a forced fumble, an interception, and a bunch of welts that don't count in the standings. And that must really make you proud. And everybody got in up front, even the cornerbacks and people pressing off the line. That's something you're going to be working on and coming up going into the playoffs the last couple of weeks.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Look at the number one thing, and this is pretty simple, but the one thing I'd like for people to say about our defense, the first thing would be that they play like their hair's on fire and they go to the ball. That's number one, because that can overcome a lot of things. I think our defensive line is a position that does that quite frequently. It's a lot of big guys that are pretty talented for our league, in my opinion. And when they play that way, it just kind of makes it look all the better. And so that's really, like I said, I think every position is the same as far as getting to the football. The thing that I'm a little bit disappointed in that we haven't done as good a job is, and we actually work on it quite a bit, and that's we haven't had the takeaways that we had a year ago. I think we're better, not much, but we're a better defense. We're a year ago, although that team had more takeaways. And takeaways to me, outside of points, is number 2 then on the defense. What you want to do, you want to take the ball away. And we haven't really done a great job with that. So a little disappointed. I think going down the stretch here, if we can make that happen a little bit more, we might make this a little more comfortable than than it has been in trying to win a game, because they've been tight games. But a lot of that I have to attribute to our opponents. I mean, this is like that team today. Like I said, we feel lucky to win it. And what did they got? One, maybe two. What do they have? Forgive me. They have one win. And just like playing Arlington a couple weeks ago, they didn't have any wins. But those are hard fought games. For teams to be like they are, and they continue. The players continue to play extremely hard. And I would credit Memphis for doing the same thing today. I mean, they played to the very end, and we just happened to be fortunate to come out on top.
Coach, like you said, dealing with injuries, but guys stepping up week in and week out. Offensively, Devin Gray steps up, has a big day, had a touchdown, would have had another one without the penalty. And then defensively, Sean Mahone is a guy that hasn't had that many snaps this year, but Kai Nakua goes down, comes out as a big stack at the end of that game, leads the team in tackles today. Can you just speak a little bit on the depth that this team has just on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, not only depth, but I'll talk about Sean for a minute because I think it's pretty good. Sean, a year ago, played for us, all right, and he was up for every game. He was never inactive. But just about every week, I would say every week this season, we've played 8 games. Every week I tell him at the beginning of the week, you might be active, you might not, and he's always ready. And he's played in all but maybe 1, maybe 2 games. So in other words, he's had to prepare for a game, not really knowing if he's going to get to play at all. And he's done a great job, and he's always been ready. He's always at players. He's a core special teams guy. He's on every one of the special teams. He's a very reliable guy, and so when he makes a play like today, and he gets more playing time, and then makes a big play, got a sack, I believe, did he not, or he's part of it? That was a big play, and so it's almost like a reward for all the hard work that he's done. But so uses him as an example.
Jared Ramsey, the Detroit Free Press. Coach, can you talk about it was another situation where the game's close at the end. They rally back to tie it, and then you guys go down, score a touchdown, get a stop, and then are able to run out the clock. Can you just talk about the team's mentality late in games in those tight situations and always being able to put yourself in a position to be successful?
Well, not only our football team, but I think the league, I will credit the league first with the way the scoring is, with the 1, 2, 3 point, nothing's guaranteed. Meaning, it's not like kicking an extra point. It's kind of like you got it, you're good. And almost like the onside kick where there's, you don't have a chance at winning that battle too. But we have a better rule. So I really like the rules, and I think that the closeness of the games is, and like you were just mentioning, coming in the end has a lot to do with the way the scoring is. Whether you go 1, 2, or 3. I don't know if you saw it today, but 2 times there was a personal foul penalty going into our scores. So we were actually going for 3 at the 2-yard line twice today. Didn't get either one. But, that's considerable. The penalty for personal foul is pretty big when you look at it like that. Now, they did a great job and stopped us both times, but it would have been nice to get 6 points off of 2 penalties like that. So the scoring as it is in our league, I think is really cool. I love it the way it is. And there's a little more thinking involved, a little more maybe room for criticism if you make the right or wrong call. But you're never out of a game, and you're never got it won either. So, again, as far as our team playing close games, when you win close games, I think it does say a lot about your players. One time fine, but we've had a few. We've had more than one, and sometimes we've been helped by our opponent, but most of the time we've done it ourselves and done a good job.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, buddy.
We'll have Brian Lewerke and Kenny Willicus up momentarily. We'll open it up for questions.
Jared Ramsey, the Detroit Free Press. Brian, can you talk about what it's been like splitting time with Bryce under center the last 2 weeks, and what it's been like just getting that opportunity to start and play again?
Yeah, it's just been great to play. That's been like the situation going in. Like we both know what we're going into when the game starts. So it's not like a surprise or anything like that. But it's great to play again.
Kenny, the defense this year has been playing really, really well. You've had quite a few sacks and just plays. Can you talk a little bit about what it's been like playing with this unit, and then also Colin Bauer there as a defensive coordinator, and just what he's been able to do with this group week in and week out?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to play with this group of guys. It's like a family. You know, we go out to eat the night before games. We hang out off the field. It's just kind of like a brotherhood. We know we got each other's backs, and when we go out there, we fly around. We play fast, physical, and aggressive. We like to hit and have fun. And, Coach Colin Bowers does an amazing job bringing the group together. He does an amazing job scheming us up each week, scheming up sacks, scheming up plays. So, we've got a good group of guys. We got to continue building this momentum as we go into the playoffs.
Hey Brian, Mike Mueller, BCP Plus. You had a lot of success. Both you and Bryce attacking the middle of the field. I was just wondering if what you saw, like with the safety play and the middle linebackers, that really allowed you to exploit some of that openness in the center of the field.
Yeah, they ended up going a lot too high, and their backer would relate a lot to number 3. We were able to get number 3 receivers. We were able to get a lot of stuff over the middle. That was something we both noticed, and all 3 of us are quarterbacks on the sideline going through the film. We noticed that on the sideline. So,
For Skyview Sports, this is for Kenny. Your defense, I said earlier, it's been kind of like a buzzsaw defense. You guys are just swarming all the time. With your last 2 games of the year and your playoff game, you have back-to-back games coming up against Birmingham. You're giving them a lot to think about when they come out and trying to run the line of scrimmage against you guys.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to improve each and every week. Obviously, we've had some good games, and we've been playing very well as a unit, but you still go back and watch the film, and there's still things we got to clean up. I still think we haven't played our best football. There's still little busts here or there. It's just trying to put that on film, that we're flying around, that we're going to come out, play physical, we're going to hit you in the mouth, but we're still trying to get better each and every week, these final 3 weeks before we go into the playoffs.
Go green.
Go white.
Let's go.
That kind of jumps to my question. What is it like for both of you guys being able to play pro football together after having your careers overlap in East Lansing and kind of just ending up in the same locker room again?
it's pretty cool. I'll go first. Obviously we were roommates for like all 5 years of college, so we know each other very well, and it's been great to be able to be back in the same team and hang out and see each other, because he was living in Minnesota, I was living in Arizona, and we were far apart and only get to see each other once a year, but it's been great to be able to hang out again.
Yeah, I would say it's a blessing. Like you said, we were roommates for 5 years. I was able to stand in his wedding this summer. He was one of the big reasons that I came and joined the Michigan Panthers, and it's just a lot of fun to be able to be back with the boys. A lot of our college teammates coming out to games and stuff. It's nice being in Detroit, Michigan State fans. So it's been a blessing. I'm grateful for it.
Last question, going back right there.
David McDonald, the Pit Media. Brian, can you go into the play design on that opening touchdown to Cole?
Yeah, so it was an option route for Cole. I think he maybe motioned across. I can't remember, but it was a 2-eye defense. It was cover 4, so he was one-on-one with a Mike backer, and that was something I noticed when we snapped it. And I just took a full 3-step drop and hitched into it to give him time to work the backer because he can break in or out. He did a great job of breaking in, and I put a good ball on him. He was able to catch and run and score a touchdown. So,
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
We'll have Bryce Perkins and Devin Gray available. Last game. We'll open up to questions.
Jerry Ramsey, the Detroit Free Press. Bryce, I just asked Brian this. I want to ask you too. What is it like splitting time with him, alternating series, and what is it like getting the opportunity to play again?
It feels great to get out there and play. Not playing a while, you kind of forget, kind of that rush feeling. But it definitely feels good to be out there and splitting reps. When one person's in coming off, we talk and ask, what do you see? What do you see? So even though you're not in, it still helps because you still get a preview of what they're doing to the other quarterback and different things like that. And feeding off each other. And me and Brian, we're from the same state. So, every time he goes in, I'm rooting for him, all his success and everything like that. So.
BCP Plus. Devin, you had an awesome game today, and it seems like almost every week a different receiver is really stepping up for you guys. I just wanted to know a little bit about you guys as a core group and how you help motivate each other, because it seems like every week someone else is going off.
Yeah, it's just part of the offense. Like you said, it could be Marcus, it could be Trey. This week it was me. We're all great playmakers in our room. We got great quarterbacks that'll give us opportunities. So every week we just come in, try to make the most of our opportunities and capitalize on those.
Cameron Gill with Detroit News. So Bryce, talk to me about how you kind of got yourself together for those last two drives. Score tied at 18, and it was up to you to kind of bring the offense back. So what was your mentality in those last few drives?
Yeah, definitely. When things get that close, a lot of excitement, a lot of rush, but definitely have to slow down one play at a time. Every play, try to focus on the execution of that play, and the guys did a great job of winning their one-on-ones and making plays on the field and just marching it down. We know we couldn't score, or we probably wouldn't score in one play, but we did a good job of keeping our composure, and especially on the last drive too. Those are critical drives. That fourth down, the guys got a good push because you don't get it. Who knows what would have happened? So hats off to the guys up front because it was a physical game and they showed out.
Devin, playing with the Michigan Panthers this year after being with the Stars a season ago, you've got Marcel Belfe there as the offensive coordinator, someone you're familiar with. How important is it to have him there, calling the plays and keeping this offense going where, like Mike talked about here, where you have receivers that can step up week in and week out? Does that play a part in what Marcel tries to build with this team?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Coach Marcel, he does a good job game planning versus the team. Our game plan is week to week. We might come in and do something completely different versus one team and the next team. So, just keeping it fluid like that. We're putting different guys in different spots, but just making it simple, and then we just go out there and make plays. We don't try to make it too complicated. Just take a little slant route and make somebody miss and score. So, just keeping it simple and just allow all the guys in our room to make plays and a lot of quarterbacks to make good reads.
Either of you talk about Matthew Colburn's day at running back and his ability to step up and kind of fill in for Wes Hills after he went down on that first possession?
Oh yeah, I got it. I mean, I played with Matt for the last 2 years. He's a great back. He's a really good back. He catches the ball very good. He's an explosive runner. He makes good cuts. This is the healthiest I think I've seen him in 2 years. So for him to take over for Wes when he went down, there was no doubt that I knew he could do it. So he's a great back. He's all around back, works hard, comes in every day, works. So it was no surprise he was able to carry the load when Wes unfortunately got hurt. But yeah, Matt's a great running back in this league.
Anything else from you two? Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.